So we can direct people over.
On our website, the Spotify playlist is basically our full
Yeah.
links to produce their things, and you can have the Spotify playlist at the same time playing with your phone as Zoom, I believe. We shall see. Right, looking good.
Oh, we're live. We're live. Forgot about. We're live. Sorry, I'm just a bit. I'm just on flex, and I'm all a bit chilled, eh?
You've almost had 100 classes under you about that. You're pros.
Just roll. Indeed. I mean. Oh, here we are again. Pilates time. Thanks for joining, gang. Welcome on into Pilates 9. I'm going to try and stand still. I realised that normally I run around like a headless chicken before these classes, so I'm going to stand in a serene fashion. So yeah, you're all super welcome on into Pilates. This is Pilates 9, so this is our new Pilates. So it starts off with standing, a little bit different, and then we're going to bring it down to the floor, some plank-based work, some seated work. So as always, lots of abs, lots of glutes, focusing on balance, on strength and control. If you are watching on Facebook, you can also jump over to our online platform, which is rise.co.uk/online, and you can jump into our virtual studio there. So I can see you all over here. No, it's a bit confusing, there's screens everywhere. I can see all you over here in class, which is super nice. So you can jump into our virtual studio there. If you would like to have a play with any of our tunes, all our tunes are on Spotify, so the link's on the website, or they're all publicly available. So if you search for, I would recommend for this one, Rise Flex 2 with the original and classic Pilates tunage. So you can search Rise with a 1, Flex 2, or if you've got any of the other ones there, so we've got Pilates, we've got Power, we've got Flex, we've got Chill. So have a little play. If you ever fancy some new tunes, feel free to go over. We've now got 15. Just doing the playlist for Flex 15 is up there. Power 15 is up there. Chill 15 is on its way. So we've got 15 times 3 sets of playlists up there. Which is 45, so lots and lots and lots of tunes. Up. Sorry? Play? Oh gosh, got a minute. Oh, I need to do Instagram. Oh gosh, stop talking, Rosie, stop doing. Sorry? Oh. I would suggest Flex 2, yeah. Rise with a 1. All right, we are live on Instagram. Welcome team, we've got Pilates 9. Super welcome on us if you're on Instagram. If you want to head on over, we're also streaming it live on our website, and you can also jump into the Zoom virtual studio. So that's www.rise.co.uk/online. So if you can head over there if you fancy seeing it there. We've also got it live streaming on our Facebook, so also very welcome to jump over there. Or of course you can stay on Instagram. And welcome on in team. We've got 50 seconds. You don't really need anything except yourself and your mat. If you know that you like to have a bolster or a strap or anything to sit comfortably or help out with stretching, you might want to grab that. But apart from that, you just clear a space, get a smile on, and we will get started in about 30 seconds. Just going to click my backup timer on. And we are hot to trot. So 18 seconds to go. If you've not done Pilates before, the idea is it's sneakily difficult. So sneaky, slow, controlled, squeezy movements is the aim of the game. So lots of focus on spinal alignment, on abdominal strength. And I'll give you lots of different options as well. All right, that's us getting started. So you're all super welcome on into Pilates 9. So this class we start off in standing. So thinking about grounding down with the feet, spreading the toes out wide, grounding down, big toe, little toe, heel. Thinking about engaging the quads, the glutes, the core. Notice if you tend to stick your bum out behind you, or you notice to sink back, sway back, and start to think about finding energy in the legs and an evenness through the pelvis. Shoulders down the back, feeling the crown of the head reach the sky. Inhale. And exhale, letting the shoulders relax. So we're just thinking about finding a lovely strong posture. Full breaths in. And out. From there, we're just going to start to take a few little toe rises, a little bit of balance. So letting the palms face the back of the room. Inhale, floating up high on the toes, just letting the arms float up too. And exhale, letting the shoulders and the heels relax. So inhale, just a little lift, thinking about strengthening the calves, the core. Exhale, relaxing down. Just one more. Inhale, lifting up, shoulders stay relaxed. Exhale, floating down. All right, from there we're going to get straight on into it. So we're going to take the hands to the fingers to the temples, elbows wide, taking the feet slightly turned out, engaging the core, and from there we're going to sink down low into a squat. Make sure the chest is lifted and the weight is moving into the heels. So we're just going to calm up there, and then so sinking down low. Squeeze, feel that control, and then power on up. So just thinking about slow, controlled movement down, keeping the spine long and really feeling that power on the way up. Making sure the knees stay stacking over the ankles. We don't want them moving too far forwards. So you're very welcome to stay there. If you'd like to take it further, we're going to sink down low, thinking about opening through the chest, elbows staying out, and then we're going to exhale, twist elbow to knee. So we're sinking down low, squeezing, and then we're going to twist, little standing balance, elbow to knee. So we're thinking here about working a moving balance. You're transferring the weight into one leg, squeezing the core, taking opposite elbow to knee, little standing crunch. So option to stay there, working that squat and crunch. Option to take it further, we're going to sink down low, we're going to lift. When you found that crunch, you can then extend arm and leg, finding this really nice balance, and then returning back down. So we're sinking down low, squeezing the core, finding control in that lift, and then extending, finding that standing twist. So, as if you've done Pilates before with me, you probably know I am obsessed with moving balance. So moving balance, super important skill to develop in terms of preventing injury in everyday life, preventing falls, transferring into everyday life and sports. We're thinking about strengthening the lower body here as we work these little squats. Really important for knee health, for spinal health, and we're thinking about working into the abdominals, just squeezing them to lift. That standing crunch, we're working into the abdominals, into the obliques, so finding that control. Thinking about sinking down. Remember, Pilates is effective because we move slowly and because we keep awareness on the muscles as they're working. Keeping the chest open, the shoulders down the back, working here just for another 5. Hopefully building up a little bit of heat now. Remember, you can switch around between levels. You don't have to take that leg extension. You can just come to a squat and crunch, or of course just a squat and lift. 4. Well done. Working at your level. 3. 2, and 1, release. Awesome stuff. From there, we're going to bring the hands out in front of us, and we're going to step the left foot into the center of that. We're going to step the right foot out, so we're coming into this lateral lunge, and then we're going to step back to center, hands come down. So reaching the hands out in front of us, taking the left foot out wide. Make sure this knee isn't moving too far forward. You're finding a stretch down the inside of this right leg, and then we're powering up, lifting with control. So that's our level 1. We're just staying there. We're stepping out wide, returning through center with control. So you should feel really powerful and strong with the legs. So as you return, engage the core, engage that standing leg, feel that energy. Option to stay there. Option to start to rise up, right knee lifts, and we're going to take it into a balance. So we're sinking down, stretching, and then we're going to squeeze, drive up, strong through the core, taking this little knee drive here. So just working there. I'm just going to admit someone on Zoom. We've got the lovely Paul is waiting there. There we go. So we're just going to step out wide. So taking that wide and then that lift. So working again on moving balance. So thinking about that little standing crunch as you lift, moving with control. So squeeze, make it slow, really driving up, squeeze the core, find that long spine at the top. Nice work, working here for 5, we got this. So really slow and controlled, 4, just working at your level, getting a nice bit of flexibility here as well, a bit of mobility, 3, nice, almost there, 2, and 1, nice work. Give those legs a little shake out. And from there, we're going to move down into plank. So rolling on down, planting the hands, walking the hands and feet back. From there, just take a moment on your knees, reset, spreading the fingers out wide, grounding down into the fingertips, into the second knuckle, energize through the shoulders, feel the shoulder blades come apart, toes tuck, and we are in a high plank. So just going to hold this high plank, thinking about squeezing in the core, making sure that the toes are just creeping back, the crown of the head is reaching forwards, squeeze the legs, so feel the energy through the legs, working here for 5, deep breaths in, and out, just thinking about finding some heat, finding some length, 4, re-squeeze, 3, 2, and 1, coming down to the knees. From there, we're going to work our Superman. So finding that strong table position, squeezing in the core, long spine, slight tuck of the pelvis. From there, we're going to extend the right hand and left foot away from each other and draw back. So that's option 1. We're extending left hand and right foot away, moving into this balance and coming back. So imagining here that the spine is completely stable. If you're balancing something on your back, it wouldn't wobble. If you want to, you could add in a little knee drive as well. So extending and then squeezing knee to nose, extending and returning. So we're getting a little bit of extra abs work there. So working on balance and strength through the spine and stability. And then driving knee to nose, working that abdominal strength. Of course, if you're feeling fiery today, pop up into a plank and have a play working these movements from plank. So maybe just coming into this little 4-point balance, lifting an arm and the leg, thinking about engaging the glutes, moving slowly with control, using the core to balance. If you're feeling it, you might take a knee drive as well. So any variations, if you're in your plank, of course, remember we're trying to avoid piking the hips, trying as much as we can to avoid wiggling from side to side, moving with control. Oh, remember, Pilates, you want to focus on muscular engagement, you want to focus on spinal control, you want to focus on deep breaths in and out. So just welcome to switch around between levels, to just work at your level, to take rest if you need to. So any variations, just going to work here for another 5, so we're building strength in the arms, we're practicing balance and control of the spinal position, working into the abdominals, 4, well done, 3, so moving with control, 2, and 1, releasing there. All right, from here, we're going to spread the fingers out wide on the mat, engage the core, tuck the toes, and find our way back into a plank position. Hands underneath the shoulders, 1 long line through the body. We're going to move to bolt here, so we're going to send the hips to the heels. The knees are going to hover an inch or so off the mat, and then we're going to roll back into plank. So this is a really great way to work into the quads, squeezing the core, moving with control. If you want to take it further, we're going to take a little bounce in that little panther hover, and then moving forwards. So working that really challenging bit for the quads, that little bit longer, keeping the core tight, moving back with control. So you're very welcome to work there. Little bolt exercise, we're moving from that little, almost a plank squat or a panther, into a full plank. If you want more, driving knee to nose, as you move from that little panther squat, back into a plank, driving back in. So we're moving with control, finding energy through the core. Well done. So working into the quads here, really important muscle to strengthen for knee health. We're working into the shoulders, into the spine, keeping those core engaged. As we drive knee to chest, you're getting some extra work for the abs as well. It's quite a strong one. If you find you get tired, feel free to come on down to a table pose and take a little breather. Working here. Maintain that energy. Make sure the shoulder blades aren't drooping. Make sure you've got that energy through the back body. Nice work for 5. Hips staying low. 4. Well done. 3. 2. And 1. Dropping down to the knees. So we're going to take a little mobilization exercise here. A little bit of a breather as well. So we're going to take a little hip thrust with a chest opener. So hands to the knees, thinking about engaging the core. From there, we're going to lift the knees, hips away from the heels, stretch the arms out wide, and then slowly lower back down. So we want the core engaged here. So we're going to inhale, using the power of the quads and the glutes, lifting up, opening out through the chest, and then squeeze really slowly lower back down. So you want to make this as slow, as controlled as you can. So thinking about really slow, controlled, squeezy lifts, just a little bit of mobilization through the chest, as well as a little strengthening exercise for the quads and the glutes. Taking 2 more. So inhaling, lifting up, opening through the chest, shoulders back. Exhale, slowly moving back. Final time, lifting up, stretching up, squeezing the glutes, opening through the chest, and returning back through center. From there, we're finding our way back to a table pose. So thinking about the hands coming underneath the shoulders, the core is engaged, pressing really hard with the hands into the mat. From there, we are going to lift the left foot up, flex the left foot, and we're going to kick forwards with the left foot and back again. So you're thinking about trying to keep both hands pressing really hard into the mat. If you want to take it down a level, you can put that left foot to the floor. We're thinking about working into the glute medius here. So if you can, keep that left foot lifted, working into the side body. If you're feeling it, you can also bring the right hand into play. So you're mirroring the movement of the leg with the right hand. So it's almost like a sideways Superman. So you should feel lots of work in the outside of the left leg, in the side body. Remembering you can plant that right hand. Remembering you can keep that left foot on the floor as well. So just working your level, trying to avoid, it will happen a little bit, swinging really far to the right with the hips. Try and keep the core engaged. Try and focus on control. So trick a little balance, thinking about squeezing the core, working to the outside of that left glute, and moving back again. So working on balance, on core strength and shoulders, on the outer glutes, really important for the knees. Working here for 5, so slow, controlled movements. 4, engage the core, keep the spine long. 3, 2, and 1. Return through center. Take a moment, take a little breather. Find that table pose. Right foot's going to lift, right foot's going to flex, and we're starting off just moving that right foot out to the side. So squeezing the glutes, really slow and controlled, reaching forwards with that right foot and back again. Remember, if you want to take the right foot low, you're very welcome to. You can just reach it out on the side. Don't worry about how far it comes forwards, just work at your level. If you want to take it further, you can lift the left hand and the right foot, and they mirror. So the right foot reaches forwards, the left foot reaches back, and then they're coming back to center. Make sure the lower back isn't drooping here. Make sure you're maintaining control. We're really focusing on strength through the side body, working on balance. Should feel really quite juicy on the outside of that right leg as you reach forwards. As always, remember to breathe. Remember you're stabilizing. You've got the core switched on. Tummy button pulling in towards the spine. You're moving slowly and with control. Nice. Working here for 5. Deep breaths in and out. Keep that core engaged. Slow and controlled. 4. Try not to wobble. We got this. 3. So really slow, really controlled. 2. And 1, release. Nice work. From there, we're just going to take a quick little stretch. So inhale the left hand up to the sky, and exhale, take the left shoulder down towards the mat. The right hand walks out in front of you. Just shimmying yourself around and finding a lovely little stretch. So just finding a stretch of the left shoulder, reaching that right hand forwards, letting the shoulders relax. Deep breaths in. And so a lovely little stretch to the shoulders, lengthening through the spine. Working here for 3. Inhale. And exhale, 2. And 1. Come back through center. Left hand is going to ground, right hand lifts. Inhale. And exhale, taking the right shoulder down towards the mat. Letting the left hand creep out in front of you. Just taking a quick little stretch. Thinking about just letting the shoulder reach down towards the mat. Just finding a point that feels comfortable and finding some space in the shoulder after all that hard work. Deep, full breaths in. And out for 3. Steady inhales. And exhales, 2. And 1. Come back through center there. From there, we're just going to swing both legs out in front of us and take a double leg forward fold. So we're going to move to some seated work here. So it's finding a double leg forward fold to start off with. So if you shimmy back and find your sit bones here, inhale, reaching forwards, angling the body forwards, and starting to maybe shimmy the hips back. So we're aiming to get into the hamstrings and the lower back. So hamstrings, lower back, thinking about just working at your level. So it might be you're comfortably able to reach forwards, hinging at the hips, imagining the rib cage is moving towards the knees, stretching out, and then relaxing down. It might be that if you're feeling tight today, you want to take a strap right into the hands, and you can just take that around the ball of the feet, inhaling, exhaling. So we're getting into the hamstrings, into the lower back, hamstrings and lumbar spine. When they get tight, that can really contribute towards spinal pain, towards pulling the spine, pelvis and the spine out of alignment. So really important to find space here. Thinking about just relaxing and breathing our way in. Deep inhale. Exhale for 3. Full breaths in. And out 2. And 1. Nice work. From there, we're just going to plant the feet down, and we're just going to move into a half roll down. So hands onto the knees. We're going to engage the core, and we're going to slowly roll down, chin to chest, keeping the feet grounded, and then squeeze the core, lift on up, shoulders back. So thinking about slow, controlled lower, and then lifting up. If you're feeling quite strong today, you might take the hands up, and you can lower down and lift up with the hands either over the head or out in front of you. Essentially what we're doing here is we're just taking the top half of a sit-up. So we're thinking about grounding down with both feet and feeling the spine lower from the tailbone, chin to chest, protecting the neck, holding a little bit at the bottom, squeezing, lifting on up. So the slower you go, with the greater control, the harder the work is. Remember, you can keep the hands on the knees. You can bring the heels closer in towards the bum. That makes it even harder. You want to keep the feet grounded so the abs are working here. Maybe a little hold at the bottom and then squeezing on up. Just working at your level. Remember, feet are grounded. The closer the feet are towards the bum, the harder this is going to be. Keep that control. Keep chin to chest and squeeze on up. So working the top half of a sit-up. We're going to work here for another 5. So slow, controlled movements, chin to chest, squeezing, really feeling that power on the way up. 4. Just take it slow. Focus on control, lifting the chest at the top. 3. Well done. 2. Almost there. 1 more. And coming all the way up there. Awesome stuff. So from there, we're going to take a little mobilization exercise and a bit of exercise to once again get into the hamstrings. So we're going to start off taking the feet out wide. If you want to sit up on a brick here, feel free. If you need a bend in the knees, feel free. So finding the sit bones on the floor, so I always like to shimmy back a bit here so we can find the sit bones. Engaging the toes, taking the arms out wide. So we're thinking about strengthening the core, inhale, and exhale. We're going to reach the right hand over to the left foot. Inhale, back through center. Exhale to twist. Inhale, engage the core, lift. Exhale, twist. Inhale, exhale. So we're just going to work here, thinking about squeezing the core, lifting up, and then twisting. So we're working on mobilization, opening out through the chest, through the spine. Mobility, of course, super important, along with flexibility and strength. Mobility is really important too. Thinking about stretching, we're taking these little dynamic stretches here. Dynamic stretching, a really lovely way to stretch, mobilize and strengthen. Thinking about using the core, inhale and exhale as you cross. Awesome, working here for 5. So inhaling through center, exhale, twisting out, feeling that lovely mobility through the spine. 4, well done. Inhale, exhale to twist. 3, lift, 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 and twist. 2, 1 more, and release there. From there, we're going to spring both legs together. We're going to continue working into the abs with our little L-sit and table presses. So angle the body forward, squeeze the core, press the hands about halfway between the knees and the hips. You're going to press really hard with the hands into the mat, lift the butt off the mat. From there, you're going to rock forward, squeeze the glutes, chest to chin, and then slowly, with as much control as you can, rock the hips back, keeping them off the mat. And then we're powering up. So we're using the glutes to power up into this reverse table. We're using the abs to find that lift. If you want to just take reverse table presses, you're just taking the hands behind you and grounding now with the feet. We're going to press up, squeeze the glutes at the top, and then slowly lower. So knees stay in line with ankles. We're squeezing to lift and slowly lowering. So welcome to stay there, working into the glutes, or if you want to, we are swinging back into reverse L-sit, keeping the butt off the mat and rolling back again. So just working at your level. Thinking about squeezing, moving with control. Nice work. Awesome stuff. So hang on in here. I'm going to move down towards some more floor-based abs next. Working here for 5. So slow, controlled, squeezing movements, pressing up the top. 4. Well done. Chest to chin. 3. 2. Squeezing up, and 1. Nice work, release. I'm just going to take my timer with me, rolling all the way down here to lie on your back. So shoulders down the back, lower back is on the floor. So we've just taken the top of a sit-up. We're now going to take a movement that mimics the bottom of the sit-up. So heels in towards the bum, palms face down by the sides. Thinking about finding a lovely strong engagement through the core. Back of the neck is long, shoulders are relaxed. From there, we're going to squeeze the abs, use that squeeze of the abs to lift the pelvis off the mat, and then really slowly lower back down. So you're thinking about squeezing the core. That squeeze of the abs lifts the top of the pelvis up to the bottom of the rib cage, and then slowly lowering. So it's a really lovely, strong lower abdominal isolation. You're thinking about slowly lifting and lowering. Trying not to swing here, but feel like you're squeezing up and slowly lowering. So shoulders are relaxed. It might just feel like a little micro movement. Don't worry about how far you're coming. Focus on that sensation. If it feels easy, you can hold at the top, extend the legs, and then slowly lower both legs down towards the floor at the end. So then you're taking the heels back in towards the bum, finding that little ball, squeezing, then extending the legs, slowly lowering the spine down, lowering the legs down just as far as lower back stays on the floor, and then heels back in towards the bum, squeezing. Extend the legs once you found the top of that lift, and then lower back down. So working either with just that little pelvic lift and lower, or maybe squeezing to lift, then extending, then slowly lowering down. Absolutely up to you. Work at your level. It's a really lovely, strong for the lower abs. Working here for 5. So slow, controlled, squeezy movements. 4. Well done. 3. Awesome job. 2. And 1. Give yourself a little squeeze there, a little stretch. Nice work. Awesome stuff. So from here, we're going to take that little reverse movement a little bit further. So we're going to take it into a full roll up, roll over, or sit up. So we've just taken the bottom of a sit up, and you're very welcome to stay working there. That's a great alternative if you don't like doing sit ups, if it's too much for the neck. If you're with a roll up, we're taking the palms to the thighs, knees are in the air. We're going to take chin to chest, squeeze the core. It's the squeeze of the core that lifts the shoulders off the mat, and then you're slowly lowering down again with control. So chin to chest, squeeze in the abs. That squeeze of the abs lifts the shoulders off the mat, slowly releasing back down. So working at your level, thinking about moving with control, up and down again. Option to take it further, we're going to extend the legs out, palms out over the head, engage the core, taking chin to chest, squeezing the core, lifting up at the top, and then we're reaching forwards, little forward fold, and then rolling down again, slow and controlled. Try not to let the feet ping off the floor. You want to focus on slowly lifting up, using the abdominals. Remember, we're finding sequential control of the spine, so we're rolling down. That lower is just as important as the lift. If you're letting the hands come over the head, you're finding that sense of mobility through the shoulders. If you're thinking about keeping the shoulders down, lifting up, folding forwards, coming back on down. If you want to take it further, grounding down with the feet, engaging the core, we're taking chin to chest, and we're taking it into a traditional sit-up. So rolling up, and very slowly lowering down. Chin is to the chest, and it's the last thing to come down to make sure we're protecting the neck. If you want to make it harder again, just keep those hands out in front of you for the full duration of the exercise. Final few reps, working here for 5. Deep breaths in and out. 4. Well done. Going to move to a bit of lower body next. 3, 2, and 1. Rolling all the way down there and finding your way to a bridge pose. So we're going to ground down, big toe, little toe heel. Press the hips up high, chest towards the chin. Squeeze the glutes, find energy through the legs. From there, we're going to take a little marching bridge, so a really great strengthening exercise for the quads, the glutes, working the abdominals, releasing the front side of the body as well. So we're going to lift up one foot, driving knee in towards the chest, a little bit of work for abs there, and then swapping over. So we're keeping the hips high, just driving knees into chest. Of course, if that's too much, you can also just release the hips down towards the floor and just take a knee drive there. So we're holding our bridge, keeping both hips high. Marching our bridge like this means we're essentially taking a one-legged bridge, all of the work coming into one leg. We're keeping the quad and the glute engaged, moving with control. Nice. So we're going to move into a full little section of lower body work. After this, really nice strengthening work for the inner and outer thigh, for the glutes, all of those muscles that support healthy knees and support the healthy positioning of the pelvis. Working here for 3. Well done. Keep that core engaged. Remember to breathe. 2. 1 more. And slowly release down. From there, rolling over on to one side. And we are going to come up to lying down on that side. So we're going to move into side lying leg series. So lying down on one side. So from here, you can either lie on one side, hip above hip, if that's comfortable. If it's not comfortable, just bend that bottom left leg, and that's going to provide a little bit of extra support. Hand under the head if that's comfortable. If you prefer, hand can be down. So whatever works for you. Pointing the toes, engaging the core, hip above hip. Right hand can plant for a little bit of stability. And from there, we're going to flex the top toes, lift to about 45, and then point to lower. So we're flexing to lift, really pressing out like you're trying to touch the opposite wall. Try to keep in one long line. Try not to wiggle from side to side. Remember, the core is engaged. You're moving slowly with control. So you really want to focus on this sense of energizing through that leg. Deep breaths in. And out, so pointing and flexing, really feeling that energy through the legs, that power through the legs, working here for 5. Slow, controlled movements. 4. pointing on the way down, flexing on the way up. We're getting into the inner and outer thigh. Try not to drop that leg. Keep that energy. 3. Well done. 2. And 1. From there, we're going to point the top toes and hover it just about a foot's length above the bottom foot. And then from there, we're going to bring the bottom foot up to lift and lower. So we're just lifting the bottom leg up to meet the top and lowering down again, keeping the core engaged, feeling that work into the outer leg of both the bottom and the top leg. Working here for just 5, so slow and controlled, squeezy movements. 4, well done. 3, really feeling that burn on the outside of the top leg now. 2, and 1. Release both toes down, point both toes, engage the core. We're lifting and lowering both toes at once, getting into the outside of the leg, into the side body, squeeze, move with control. Nice work. So we're working here, thinking about finding that energy through the outside of the legs. Try not to wobble. Final little exercise here. Working here for 5. Slow, controlled. 4, squeezing the core. 3, 2, and 1. Nice work. From there, we're just going to spin straight on around and find our way to lie on the other side. So moving into that same series on the other side. So remember, set yourself up. Find a point that you feel comfortable. You can always place a pillow underneath the hips if you find you need a little bit of extra support there. Bottom knee can be bent, or you can fully extend. Your choice. So just finding whatever variation works for you. And then we're flexing the top foot, extending and pointing the toes to lower. So we're thinking about finding that energy, remember, through the core. Remember, you're trying to avoid wiggling from side to side. You're moving with control, flexing and pointing. So feel that strength build in the outside and inside of the leg. Thinking about flexing and pointing to lower, almost as if you're working against resistance, or in water. You really want to feel this is slow and powerful. Working here for 5. Slow and control, core engaged. 4. Well done. Really powering out, kicking out. 3. Well done. Moving slowly, finding that energy. 2. 1 more. And from there, we're going to point the top toes, raise them about a foot's width above the bottom. We're going to lift and lower the bottom to meet the top. Keeping that energy, so pointing the toes. You should feel every muscle is engaging down that top foot, and you're feeling that work in the outside of the bottom leg as it lifts. You're feeling it perhaps on the outer side of this left leg, holding that left leg there in tension. Working here for 5. Core engaged still, breath flowing. 4. Well done. 3, 2. And taking both feet together. So pointing the toes, lifting and lowering both toes at once. Really feeling that energy in the side body, in the outer glute, keeping the core switched on. Well done. Working here, slow, controlled, squeezy movements. Core is tight, shoulders are relaxed for 5. Well done. 4. Almost there. 3. We're going to take a little stretch of this and then fire up the lower abs to finish. 2. And 1. Nice work. Find your way up, swing your legs around and roll all the way down to lie on your back. So we've got 10 minutes to go for the end of class. So I'll just take a quick little pigeon stretch here. Worked the lower body pretty hard. So just taking the left ankle to the right knee. It might feel that is enough of a stretch for you right now. Or it might be you want to take the hands through down towards the back of the right shin or around the back of the right leg. Inhaling. And exhaling, really deep, full breaths. Thinking about finding that stretch right down the back of the right leg, through the right glute. Shoulders relaxed. Deep breaths in. And down. Working here for 3. Inhale. Exhale, 2. 1 more, really deep, full inhale. Exhale. From there, we're going to let the right knee continue its journey on top of left, and then taking the hands to the opposite ankles and gently pulling the ankles away. You should feel like quite a juicy stretch down through the back of the left glute and the outside of the left leg. So just a quick little stretch there, working that left glute and stretching out that left glute, left outer leg. Working here for 3, inhale, exhale 2, and 1, transition. Right ankle is coming onto the left knee, and we're taking the hands through towards the back of that left leg, if that's okay for you, or towards the back of the left thigh. Of course, keep that left foot on the floor if you prefer. Stretching in there, shoulders relaxed, full breaths in, and out. Working here for 5, inhaling, exhaling 4, so releasing through the shoulders, stretching out, deep steady breaths in and out, 3, inhaling, exhaling, just a little stretch, 2, 1 more deep breath in, and out. From there, letting the right foot continue its journey on top of left, maybe then taking the hands to the opposite ankles and start to just draw them away from each other, so you find that intense stretch down the back of the right leg through the right glute. Inhaling and exhaling, just a quick little stretch, releasing that side body. Working here for 3, inhaling, exhaling, 2, lovely steady full breaths. 1 more deep breath in and out, releasing there. Nice work. All right, let's get back into those lower abs. Lower back is on the floor, shoulders are relaxing down, knees are off the mat. So remember, whenever the legs are off the mat in Pilates, we want the lower back on the mat. So squeeze the core, reset the hips. From there, extending the legs into the air, we're going to draw little X's in the air as we lower the legs, and then draw little X's on the way back up. This is our crisscross. And then we're going to take little flutter legs. So it's like you've gone swimming as a kid and they make you do little flutter legs. So it's just little movements up and down like you're swimming. And then we're going to take that back to those lateral movements, little crosses in the air. And back up again. So the key point we want to aim for here is the lower back staying on the floor. So if the lower back starts to arch, feel free to take a soft bend in the knees, or feel free to take quite a small range of motion. So it might be that you're only lowering just a little way up and down, making a little way up and down with those crosses. Don't worry, it might be that you want to just take a single leg lower with 1 foot grounded instead, which is awesome as well. You could just take a normal single leg lower with 1 foot in the air, anything at all that feels good for you. Remember, just work at your level. You want the lower back to stay on the floor, you want the core to be engaged. That is the key point. We say that because we want to feel like the abs are switched on. We don't want to strain the lower back, so that's why we use that as our key point. So just work at your level, choose an option that suits you. Remember, this is your time, your practice. You've got absolutely no one to impress but yourself, and just find somewhere that feels good. So thinking about working at your level and remembering to breathe. Working here for 5. Strong through the core. 4, so little flutters up and down, or any other variation of leg lowers. 3, well done. 2, hang on in there. And 1, nice work. Give yourself a little squeeze. Well done. Taking the hands to the knees, just draw some lovely big sweeping mobilizing circles of the knees away from each other and towards each other. And from there, we're going to take the knees over the hips, the lower back is on the floor, and we're going to go for a little bike ride. So we're going to cycle the legs forwards, keeping the lower back on the floor, trying not to wiggle from side to side, really powering out. So you're in a high gear, you're going up a hill, really powering out there slow. And then when you're ready, we're going to take it back. So we're going to move between back pedaling here and forwards pedaling. So remember, it could just be a little movement, it doesn't have to be big. You just want to find that control. It's a bit of an asymmetric movement, and then we're taking it back the other way. If you want more, you could take the chin to the chest, lift the shoulders off the mat, and work with the shoulders off the mat. If you want more again, you could even take the hands over the head, creates a little bit of extra work. So we're just thinking about moving with control with those legs, chin to chest, squeezing in the core, finding that stability through the hips. Chin to chest, make sure if you've got the chin to chest, it's the abs that's doing the lifting, not the neck. You want to find that sense of the core engaging, and it's that strength through the core that is lifting the shoulders off the mat. Working here for 5, doing really well. Final 5 minutes. 4, well done. Cycling back. 3, well done. 2, 1 more. And release. Lovely work. Give yourself a little squeeze, a little stretch. And from there, we're going to take a lovely little twisting exercise. So we're going to take the elbows out wide, palms to the sky, lower back is on the floor, knees over the hips. Making sure the lower back is on the floor to start. We're then going to slowly lower the legs from one side, squeeze the core really hard, come back through center, slowly lower the other side. So we're thinking about keeping the shoulders relaxing down, the lower back on the floor. Making sure the lower back comes to the floor as you come through center, making sure it's a lower and a lift, not a swing. Should be getting a lovely little stretch to the spine here as well. If you wanted to make it harder, the legs can extend, so that increased lever length is going to increase the load. If you want to take the legs all the way down towards the floor, that's going to make it harder again. Try and keep the shoulders on the back. Try not to rush it. So really slow, really strong, really controlled. Nice work. Ooh, feeling that crack through the back maybe. Working here for 5. So one of my favorite exercises. Really great way to mobilize the spine, release the spine as we build strength in the abdominals, in the obliques. 4. Deep breaths in. And out. 3. 2. And 1. Nice work. Give yourself a little squeeze. We've got one more exercise to go. All right, options. Knees over hips, shins parallel to the mat, legs extend. Option to stay there, option to bring chin to chest, option to reach forwards, option to beat the arms, option to bring hands overhead. If you bring your hands overhead, we're taking a hollow body rocker, just a little rock forwards and backwards. So either just holding there, holding here, holding with the shoulders down, or if you're feeling it, squeezing in the core. We're making one long line from the toes to the head, chin to chest, and we're doing these nice little rockers. Super fun exercise. One of my favorites. Always feels sneakily difficult. Really quite burny by the end. We're going to hang on in here. You can do it at home. You can do it, Matt. Carry on. Working here for 5. Chin to chest, squeeze. 4. Nice work. Yeah, we're all back in. There we go. 3. 2, keep that core engaged, and 1. Nice work. Awesome work at home, team. Give yourself a little hug, a little stretch, and we'll take a quick little release. Left leg extends, hug in with the right knee. Take the left hand to the right knee and draw the right knee across the chest, opening up with that right hand. Take a lovely little twist. Inhaling, exhaling. So quick little stretch out for 3. Inhaling, exhaling, final minute. 2, and 1, swapping on over, right leg extends, hug in with left, take that little twist, extending the left hand away, stretching out through the left leg, working here for 3, inhaling, exhaling, shoulders relaxed. 2, 1 more, inhale, exhale. From there, give yourself a little squeeze, a little hug in, a little stretch. And give yourself a little rock up and find your way back up to seated. Awesome work, team. So spin around so I can talk to you. Great stuff. When you're ready, just find the sit bones. We'll take a final little stretch. So interlocking the hands, turning the palms up to the sky, shoulders down the back. Take a lovely full stretch down the side body. Deep inhale. Exhale. From there, chin to chest, pressing the backs of the hands towards the front of the room, stretching out through the shoulders, drawing the shoulders down. Deep breath in. And out. And finally, just stretching out through the chest, drawing the shoulder blades apart. Deep inhale. Exhale. And then just give yourself a little shoulder roll. Have a little shimmy out. And have an awesome rest of your day. Thanks for joining, team. Thanks for joining, team, on Insta. And I'll see you all soon. Well done.